158 quintillion. That is a number so large it shatters human comprehension. It was the exact number of possible settings on a machine the size of a typewriter. The Enigma wasn't just a code, it was a mechanical fortress. And to destroy it, humanity had to invent the modern computer.
The North Atlantic, 1941. You are a sailor on a merchant ship bringing food to a starving Briton. The ocean is freezing. The night is black. You can't see them, but beneath the waves, German U-boats are hunting in packs. They strike with perfect invisible coordination. By the time the torpedo hits, your ship is already a grave.
How do you defeat an enemy whose communications are shielded by mathematically perfect encryption? Subscribe to Method and Myth as we deconstruct the machine that won the war.
By 1940, Britain was starving. The island nation relied entirely on supply convoys from America. But the German Navy, the Kriegsmarine, had effectively blockaded the Atlantic using a devastating new tactic, the wolf pack. To coordinate these massive underwater fleets, Admiral Karl Donitz needed to send radio messages across thousands of miles of open ocean. But radio waves are public. Anyone with an antenna could listen in. The British heard every single order given to the U-boats.
The problem was, the messages were encrypted by the Enigma machine. Standard cryptography relied on a fixed cipher, where A equals B and C equals D. If you intercepted enough messages, you could look for patterns and crack the code. Enigma was different. It changed its own mind with every single keystroke. To understand the terror of Enigma, you must understand its anatomy. The machine had three main components: a keyboard, a set of rotating wheels called rotors, and a plugboard at the front.
When a German operator pressed a letter, say H, an electrical current flowed from the key through the complex wiring of the three rotors, bounced off a reflector plate at the back, traveled back through the rotors via a different path, and lit up a completely different letter on a light board.
But here was the genius of the machine. Every time you pressed a key, the first rotor moved one notch forward. The internal electrical maze completely changed. If you pressed H again, it wouldn't be P, it might be Q. Add the plugboard at the front, which swapped letters before they even entered the rotors, and the number of possible starting configurations for the machine reached 158,962,555,272,000. The Germans changed the starting settings every single midnight. If a team of British codebreakers tried one setting every minute, 24 hours a day, it would take them longer than the age of the universe to check them all. Brute force was impossible. The British military gathered eccentric mathematicians, linguists, and chess champions at a secret estate called Bletchley Park. Among them was Alan Turing, a brilliant, unconventional mathematician.
Turing realized something profound. You cannot defeat an automated machine with human brains. Humans are too slow. To defeat a machine, you must build a machine.
Working with Gordon Welchman, Turing designed an electromechanical giant called the Bombe. It was essentially 36 Enigma machines wired together to run in reverse. But it didn't try to guess the 158 quintillion combinations. That would still take too long. Instead, Turing exploited a catastrophic engineering flaw in the Enigma's design. The machine had a reflector plate to send the electricity back through the rotors. Because of this reflector, a letter could be encrypted into any other letter in the alphabet, except itself.
A could never be encrypted as A. This was the Achilles heel of the Third Reich. It meant the codebreakers could use something called a crib, a known piece of plain text.
The Germans were highly disciplined, which made them predictable. Every morning at 6 a.m., they sent a weather report. The message almost always began with the German word Wetterbericht and often ended with Heil Hitler.
The Bletchley Park team would align the known phrase Heil Hitler with an intercepted string of gibberish. If the letter H lined up with an H in the cipher, they knew immediately that position was wrong, because Enigma could never encrypt a letter as itself.
They fed these cribs into the Bombe machine. The Bombe didn't search for the right answer. It aggressively eliminated the millions of impossible answers in minutes. When the spinning dials suddenly stopped, the electrical circuit was complete. The daily key was found.
By 1943, Bletchley Park was decrypting 84,000 Enigma messages a month. They knew exactly where the U-boat wolf packs were hiding. The British routed their merchant convoys around them, starving the German submarines of their prey.
But breaking the code created a horrifying moral dilemma. If the British acted on every piece of decrypted information, if they sank every U-boat and dodged every attack, the Germans would instantly realize Enigma was broken, and they would change the machine.
To keep the ultimate secret, known as Ultra, the British had to play a terrifying game of statistics. Sometimes they had to let a convoy sail directly into a trap. They had to let men die in the freezing Atlantic just to keep the Germans believing their machine was invincible.
The Germans never found out. Admiral Donitz went to his grave believing Enigma was perfectly secure. Historians estimate that Alan Turing, Gordon Welchman, and the team at Bletchley Park shortened the war by at least 2 years, saving over 14 million lives.
The Bombe wasn't just a code-breaking device. It was the absolute proof that an electromechanical machine could execute complex logical operations at speeds impossible for humans. It was the spark that ignited the digital age. Humanity built a machine to destroy a machine, and in the process, we built the foundation of the modern world. Next time on Method and Myth, we step out of the shadows of code breaking and into the roaring fire of jet propulsion.